Hello, folks. Welcome to a brand new episode of Plucking Petals with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
I'm James.
And you Garth Brooks.
As we go a little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate.
What's going on, buddy? How you been?
I'm a little confused by this setup. Oh, you've got a mic on your lapel.
That's
That's why you put the collared shirt on instead of I never thought I'd get dressed up for a podcast.
That's right. I was doing jokes off microphone, guys,
Yeah.
and we're trying a new setup today where I have a microphone that I bought for all my filming for short films and YouTube stuff, and I figured out how to use my recording equipment to use the lavalier mic correctly for a podcast.
So what do you call that thing?
It is a lavalier. It's a wireless lav. So as you can tell, there's no wire from the recording device to my face.
No, I got it.
There's just a wire and there's like a little pack on the back here.
Yeah.
So I use it for work a lot. It's really fun. It makes you feel kind of like a sports broadcaster or some kind of news person.
Neat.
So yeah, I had to get dressed for the podcast today by having to put on a collared shirt so it's perfectly away from my face so I can drink and not be a complete asshole about things.
Oh.
So what is new besides this podcast setup? What is new with you, good sir?
I had my pig roast. I have
Yes,
pig
you
roast once a
did.
year. You were there.
I was there.
Yeah. Did you have a good time?
I had a blast.
Yay.
I always have a blast at the pig roast.
It's a good time.
I was very excited. I like that I met some new people. I like when new people show up, and I like talking to them and whatever. I met I guess is your superior Reed.
Yes.
Yes, he brought a bunch of alcohol from
Yeah.
your platform brewery.
Yeah.
As well as I got to try some of the peach spreader for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was right up my alley. And
I like
I
those
very much
sour
enjoyed
beers.
it. That's my new thing right now is sour beers. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I really enjoy sour beers.
Yeah, so we have a kettle sour series. In the brewing community, kettle sours are kind of frowned upon because they're like cheating.
Why?
So normally sours are dangerous because you've got basically microorganisms growing in there that
Okay.
will infect your not sour beer and make it sour.
Wow.
People don't like having those in their brewery. Also, it takes a lot of time, and to really get it right, there's a lot of trial and error in blending. Kettle sours are the poor man's way to do it. You just
Okay.
kind of brew a beer like normal,
Yeah.
and then instead of boiling it right away, like once you have all the sugar out of the grain,
Yeah.
you pitch probiotics into it. It's a bacteria in the genus Lactobacillus.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
It
That
does
makes total sense.
lactic acid fermentation. It's
Gotcha.
also it makes a lot of yogurt sour.
Oh,
like
okay.
probiotics.
Gotcha.
So that lactic acid brings the pH down. And if you didn't know this, I didn't know this until depressingly recently. The word acid is Latin for sour.
Oh.
Yeah,
So anything with acidic taste is sour taste.
you perceive that as sour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then you boil it like normal, pitch it with yeast, and that's how we do our kettle sour beers. And they're I generally don't like fruit beers. I think it's a brewing crutch. But
Yeah.
with sour beers, I think they are a great platform for fruit to show.
Well, then I will not talk about the watermelon wheat that I just bottled the other day. And,
Yeah.
whatever, that I took a lot of hard time on, taking all the puree and with Ashley and making it all beautiful.
Did
and
you do what I
red.
said? Did you freeze it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We froze it. I feel like it worked out a lot better until we were putting it into the carboy. And we kind of had to she was dumping it in, I was just stabbing it like over and over again to try to get it in that fucking small hole. But yeah, back to your pig roast. It was wonderful. We had a great time. I made deviled eggs, and
And they were
apparently
very good.
I
Yeah.
made a lot less than I thought. I originally
They were
made-
gone before the pig was done.
I know. I felt really bad because
Yeah.
you told me it was gonna be a smaller thing. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll make some deviled eggs and see what happens. And then your mom came up to me and told me how much she enjoyed those eggs and how much she enjoyed the podcast, and she said how funny I was. So thank you, James's mom, for making my week. That was
Yeah.
absolutely marvelous, and I do really appreciate
And I'm a
it.
mama's boy, so if she approves of you, then I approve of
That's
you.
right. That's why you're still doing this podcast,
Yeah.
right? Oh God! But
If
yeah.
she would have said, hey, that's not very good, I wouldn't be here right now.
Mm-hmm. I understand. We both take drinks at the same time now. This is how we're doing.
That's good
things.
podcasting.
Yes, most definitely. But yeah, no, it was a great time. We had a blast. It was good. was good weather. Every year that you had the pig roast, it's either rainy or snowing.
The
or
last few
stupid
have
cold.
been bad.
Yeah, they were real. Like they were still fun because you just kept drinking and get that beer sweater going on.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But like it was nice. It was like I only needed a sweater like later. So like that was cool. I appreciate.
So I've actually
you inviting us.
been doing these for about 12 years.
Damn.
So I think this is the 12th one I've done. I've only known you for like 4 or 5 years now, and
Yeah.
did all of those, I think. And that's about the time we started doing it in October. It used to be we did it for my birthday in July thing, but that sucked. It was so warm. So the October way, the way to do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree because it's not. I'd rather have it colder than like stupid hot, especially when you're dealing with coals and fire and stuff all day. You don't want to get hotter as it goes, I suppose.
All right. So what's new with you? You said something about an open mic.
We're recording this on a Tuesday. Normally record this on Thursdays now. I just came back from an open mic, which is for those who don't know what open mic is where people go up for free and tell comedy for like 5 minutes or so. I've been doing this for like 2 weeks now. So basically I'm a pro and I'm already getting my Comedy Central 30-minute special.
Okay, good.
I'm very excited. It's gonna be a blast. I'm having fun with it so far. It's something I've always wanted to try out, and this week we didn't have enough people, so I was kind of sitting around just writing jokes the whole time, which I feel like is really fun too. I like doing comedy, so I'll do any outlet that I can go down to do comedy. I'm all for, and this seems to be a new one I'm going to be trying out for at least a while and seeing until someone stabs me or someone stabs me. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm not inviting anyone to anything yet because I want to get to that point where like
I really want to go and just like not emote.
I
as
know,
sit
but
and
that's what
watch
I'm
you.
worried. That's what I'm worried. I know you do that on purpose, and it would make me laugh, but I'd feel awful afterwards. I just want to get to a point where if you guys go, like our friend group goes, you're not laughing because it's me on stage.
Yeah.
You're laughing because I have decent jokes and writing abilities. So I need to get to that point. But
A lot
I'm
of
like
that's
writing
delivery,
every day.
though.
It is. It's
Yeah.
delivery, and I'm working on that. I don't know what style. I think about this a lot now. It's a lot. Have you ever seen me spacing out? It's probably because I'm thinking of a dumb joke that I think is funny. It's probably not going to land at all.
Okay.
So other than that, I got my monetization back on YouTube, which means I make a little bit of money off videos now, which is cool because I like making a couple cents here or there for all the videos I put out all the time. I got banned after the Guy Fieri video from having anything.
Yeah.
So, which is
So
a problem.
I would say the Guy Fieri video you made is like touch and go. I think if you were a bigger channel, you might have gotten away saying that was fair use, because I would argue that that's transformative.
Yes.
I would not go watch it to see Guy Fieri. I would not go watch it to listen to Johnny Cash's Hurt. It's its own thing, but you just can't win those fights.
And I tried.
Yeah.
I tried like 3 times. We had some conversations, and
Yeah.
it did not go over well. But everything on my YouTube channel is now back to normal, which makes me very happy because it's what I do weekly now. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, that's about it. So let's get into these problems, shall we?
All right.
You did it last week, right?
Yeah, so you're
So
up.
I'm going to do what I do best, is complain, but also not have evidence to support anything.
All right.
My problem for this episode is being with awkward couples that are obviously fighting. And they're just trying to make it everything cool. It's very passive aggressive. I recently watched this film with Ashley called Force Majeure. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It's a Swedish film, so you really gotta have to be into subtitles unless you know Swedish. In case, you should have seen it already. It's a great film. So basically, it's about this family who goes on this ski weekend, and I'm not spoiling anything because it's a huge part of the movie in the beginning and in the trailer, but there is an avalanche that occurs while they're at the ski resort, and the mother holds on to the 2 kids while the father grabs his phone, his gloves, and books it.
Oh.
And the whole movie is them trying to deal with the fact that the father had left the family for his own selfish needs.
Yeah.
And they talk to a bunch of people about it, and it's very, very awkward. The whole movie is so cringeworthy in every delightful manner. And I hate being around those kind of couples.
So this is like not what I expected at all when you brought up this problem. I know you said it was based on this movie, but I just kind of pictured like, you go out double, triple date or a group and it's just like the couple that's being passive aggressive to each other over bullshit. What you just described is a real issue that people need to work through.
Oh yeah, whoops.
yeah.
Season 2, professionalities. I feel like couples who fight in front of other couples and trying to use them as weapons is not cool and not nice. I have been on both sides of that coin. I have been that couple, and I have certainly been used for a couple fight. And it makes me feel really awkward, makes me feel really bad about myself, and makes me question their relationship as a whole. And it's a real problem. I hate feeling awkward.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta feel awkward to, like, grow. But then there's other times where it's like, we're here to eat tacos. Like, this is my relaxing from real life night. And you're over here arguing that you don't like what's on the menu, and then you're always like this, and it's like...
Exactly. But it's never about the menu, and it's never about the selection. It's about, like, something wrong with the career or something in this relationship that didn't work out right, and that's just a whole problem in itself. And I hate being around that.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I just don't understand how people have, like, blinders on how they're affecting other people. That, like when people just kind of talk and rant and bitch, and you have zoned out 5 minutes ago and literally not responded at all, and they're still just like at your face. It's kind of one of those.
Or you're like looking at your phone, or you get up and they keep talking, and like that's another separate problem too. That's not even like a couple thing. That is a person to person kind of P2P kind of issue.
Peer-to-peer problem.
Peer-to-peer problem. But yeah, no, I just can't. I was there watching this movie and how awkward and weird it was to watch someone explain what happened and like watch them fighting and like trying to reconcile with the couple, but also trying to get their thoughts on it. It's very weird. I feel very I don't feel claustrophobic unless I'm in those kind of situations. Like I could be in a trapped elevator with 30 people, it doesn't matter. But when it's in that situation that I feel claustrophobic and I have a real problem with. And that movie was great, and it was great because it irked me like literally I was just turning to Ashley, my girlfriend, the whole time, not because I wanted to see her reaction, just because I needed to look away from the screen because I was having trouble
because you were going to leave her because there was an avalanche coming.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what I would have done. I would have screamed a little girl and I would have just booked it. But yeah, so couples, right?
Yeah.
There's so much fun sometimes when they're arguing and you go on a double date and everything is just not. This is not a slight at anyone. This is simply just based off of this film that I saw, which once again it is on Netflix and I highly recommend it. If you like to feel uncomfortable cringe.
And I'm almost 30 now. I have almost all of those people out of my life.
I'm glad. I don't think I've run into that in a while, but I remember, well, especially within my last relationship, we were definitely the problem couple. And I would purposely not go on double dates with people because I knew that we were going to be a problem. So I'm trying to, dissolve the problem while I could. Sometimes you just can't avoid it. Sometimes she's going to fight with you because she's the drunk. It doesn't matter. Yeah. She doesn't listen. She may listen. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my problem for this week.
Yeah. Hate it when couples fight. Those bastards. They should just get along.
Oh, all right. See how easy that was? I'm an easy person today because we've been drinking vodka sodas.
Actually, it just tastes like club soda.
Yeah. Well, there's vodka in there too. It's Tito's. I've been doing that MyFitnessPal thing after the last podcast. Yeah. I've been watching my calorie intake. And so I started to switch from beer to vodka sodas or whiskey sodas. And I got to say, after a couple of these, I am much better than after a couple of beers. The sense that I'm pretty tipsy at that point because I'm very much a lightweight. Yeah. But also I feel like the numbers don't lie. I'm not intaking as many calories. So
no, that's nice. Myself. And actually, so going up to the pig roast, I went a little bit under each day. And then the night before, I actually skipped a meal, so I was 800 calories under.
Oh, that was smart.
I put on about 4,000 calories the day of the pig roast.
Yeah, I don't even. About halfway through entering everything we did at the pig roast, I just got mad at myself because I'm like, well, you had a beer, and then you had 2 more beers, Then you had 3 more
It's like,
beers.
I haven't even gotten to food yet,
I know,
and I'm over my
this,
goal.
This is only alcohol from Platform, which once again I do thank your job for providing a bunch of alcohol.
It's a benefit. That is the perk of
It is. I miss
like
perks from jobs. I really do.
Isn't a recording?
Well, yeah, that helps too. But
Yeah.
that's more if I would have had it anyways. So
Yeah.
okay. So next segment.
Yeah.
We had someone on Twitter actually. It's not even someone. It's his name is MJ. He goes by at SparkSeeker81. He suggested that our name was not very good for the next segment, and he decided that maybe we should try the phrase "good or gooder." The English minor in me wants to stab myself, but the party pleaser person in my person thinks that we should at least try it this week. We're just gonna keep trying new names every single time. So welcome to our next segment called Good or Gooder with James and Kyle. Once again, I am Kyle.
I'm not doing that again.
Anyways, okay, so this week we are going to have a very healthy debate on tabletop gaming versus couch gaming. Would you like to begin while I pour myself another drink?
Yeah, sure. Tabletop gaming is timeless. You had cards before you even had electricity.
Okay.
It's actually in a boom right now. So there's a million new games you could try. We've played. That's basically like a lot of our relationship was founded on tabletop gaming, King of Tokyo, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's just more and more of those coming out.
Okay.
Right now, in a time where like couch video gaming is in a horrible decline. Halo 5 did not even have co-op. It did not have couch co-op.
All right.
Your counterpoint, Kyle.
Okay, so I cannot forgive Halo 5 for not doing couch co-op in any capacity. Actually, I did not know that was a thing until after I bought the game, and I invited one of my friends over to play Halo with me, because that was our thing to do every time a Halo game came out, was to play
Halo.
And
oh yeah.
we looked online for 20 minutes to try to figure out, oh wait, they just decided that you're going to use one TV, because then their excuse was 60 frames a second as opposed to 30 frames. Wouldn't you like that so much more than playing with a friend? No, not at all. But couch gaming is a blast because you get to be looking at one direction. There's sounds, there's lights, there's excitement, there's controllers in your hands. Things happen on a constant basis.
But then there's the issue of the controllers, and then you always have the weird third-party one that you feel like the bitch if you're stuck with. Like, oh, it has an auto-fire button. Oh, yeah, that's so cool. It just keeps hitting the pause button.
Look, it lights up blue. It's Mad Catz.
Yeah,
it's
Mad
amazing.
Catz.
But I think it's fun because I feel like as much as our relationship was born out of tabletop games, and I do appreciate that as we're doing a podcast together. I do feel like couch gaming gets me more excited about things because I don't know if it's a lack of imagination in my own right, but I feel like having a TV blasting something at my face with, like, we play Rocket League or Enter the Gungeon or downright Drawful. It's exciting as opposed to playing, Drawful versus Pictionary, where you're writing on a card.
Oh, Pictionary is garbage. There's so much
fine.
better than that.
We'll put
Hell,
that
we
to
could
the
even
side.
go with a 52 deck of playing cards.
Okay,
Like, that
okay.
is better than
That's
Pictionary.
fine. That's fine.
But like
I
even
agree.
that, like the barrier for entry for tabletop gaming, it can get really expensive if you get a lot of them. But it's like way cheaper than you need the console, the TV, the amount of controllers, and
This is
controllers
true.
run almost like $50 a piece. You need
This is
4.
true. Okay.
You can't really eat while you're playing it. It gets like sticky, and then like basically, if someone's eating Doritos when they're at my house, I want to murder them.
Well,
if they're
hold on.
touching my controllers.
I recently saw a video of a man that invented this contraption to put on an Xbox controller, where he puts a hot pocket. Yeah, and he moves the controller in a fashion so he can eat the hot pocket while he's just poning noobs on Call of Duty. That's pretty cool. But I feel like tabletop gaming, I feel like it also takes some games are way too long for my attention span, which is a huge problem.
You could
for
set
me.
out for that and come back to those. I get what you're saying. But
Yeah.
then, like I really like I was thinking we're doing Crystal Chronicles right now. Some of us, it's like this old GameCube game with like Game Boys, and that's taking forever. Like it's honestly, we're like 16 hours in and haven't really finished that guy.
No,
yet.
thank you.
Yeah, So the time thing is the same for both of them.
Yeah.
And then the expense to get that going, each one of those, you need a Game Boy Advance as a controller.
Exactly.
It's pretty expensive. Then you need the special Game Boy to GameCube controller connecting cord.
Which is not cheap, especially nowadays where they're probably fucking hard to find.
And we have 3 real ones and 1 Mad Catz one.
Oh, that's always the best.
And so there's the Game Boy Advance that's like wide.
Who gets that one?
It has to be whoever's using the Game Boy Advance that's wide with no backlight, because you have the newer one that has the backlight. The Mad Catz one doesn't work with it.
All right, so I have a compromise
Yeah.
between our debate right now.
Okay.
It is a tabletop game, but with a VHS component.
VHS. I've played those.
Have you ever played those before?
Yeah, I played one.
There is one that I will never forget in my childhood that we played a Gargoyles VHS board game, and it is delightful.
Yeah.
I have so much fun. That's the medium that we need in our lives.
All right.
We need more VHS.
This debate is settled.
Done. We're
VHS
good.
interactive tabletop
Yeah,
game.
it could be DVD. I don't care. It could be downloaded.
Yeah.
Actually, after this, we're going to look this up. I want to see if there's a thing. Anyways, what is your problem for the week? Why are you flexing at me?
I was scratching my shoulder.
Okay, it looks like you were flexing, though.
Yeah.
You were flexing.
Addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain to the audience what addiction is for those who don't know?
It's when you have a compulsive habit that it runs your life. So
Okay.
it can be... What made me get into this was the painkillers leading to heroin thing.
Yes.
But when I started researching, I found some stuff that's made me change what I'm going to talk about. But essentially, it can be, I'm stuck doing drugs, I'm stuck looking at pornography, I'm stuck browsing Reddit. It's just like, I do this is my connection, and this is what I hold into. Mm-hmm. So when I was looking this up, in Ohio, we have a lot of drug overdoses right now.
We have a lot of heroin overdoses. It is crazy.
And I was looking into this, what's the chemical basis? And a lot of this comes from people getting addicted to painkillers. They have a horrible injury, they start taking these painkillers. Mm-hmm. Their prescription runs out, they try to go cold turkey, they're losing it. The only thing their dealer has that they can afford is heroin.
It's cheap. It's easy.
So there's a lot of that being laced with I forget the name of it right now. F word. People are dying because this is like a very toxic chemical, and then plus that's like a sales trick, because if you sell heroin and someone dies of an overdose, they're like, oh, that guy's got the good stuff, so that can actually boost their sales.
Yeah.
But actually, so there's the chemical basis for addiction. If you take heroin for 20 days, on the 24th day, they say that you're stuck. You need it. Your body will go into withdrawal if you don't get it.
Okay.
There's actually this study on rats that found that addiction maybe works a little different than we think it does.
Is it Rats or Rat the 80s band?
I believe it was Rats the 80s band. No, it was the animal.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I don't know if they're still alive, but I'd be concerned.
So they took these rats, in a cage, isolated like they are lab rats, and they just gave them like a tube with water and a tube with water with drugs in it.
Do you think they had a lot of rage?
Despite all... Yeah, okay. Good one, Kyle.
Thank you.
So they would just keep taking the drugs, and a lot of them would even do to the point where they would just die. Like, they would just keep taking the drugs and they'd die. And so they would look into this like, wow, these chemicals are really addicting. Well, maybe it's a different thing. They're trapped in a cage. Rats are really social animals. You fucking...
I'm smiling.
Yeah. And so, like, maybe there's something different going on.
Yeah.
So they, the researcher, whose name I can't remember right now, built what's called Rat Park. And if you just Google Rat Park, it's this immense study where he just made basically heaven for rats. It's like huge, open, clean it daily. I was actually going to try
to discuss this.
Lots of tubes.
Yeah. Is that where they formed a society and they had upper and lower echelons?
No, that's not this.
Oh, I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. No, but this one basically showed that you put a bunch of rats in a... That's screaming out. Rats in this
fine.
like
We're not
heaven
recording off that,
area. Balls, lots of other rats to play with, like exercise. The rats almost never took the drugged water. And if they did, it would be like only occasionally. And none of them ever drank themselves to death.
Okay.
So it's basically like, hey, the rats have society. They have connection with other rats. They don't really give a shit about the drugs. And even the ones that took it from time to time didn't really have any addiction forming from it. Yeah. So it kind of made it seem like it wasn't the physical... the chemical itself that's causing you to get addicted to it. It's the fact that you're just alone and have nothing else to do, and it's your only connection.
It was like a missing piece.
Yeah, there's something missing from your life, and that's what used to fill the gap. And so there is actually kind of I mean, that's rats. I mean, rats are different than humans, but there's kind of a real world, it's not a perfect example of this, and that's that during Vietnam, about 1 in 5 soldiers was on heroin.
Really?
Yeah. So when they were over in Vietnam, like 1 out of every 5 guys over there, United States soldiers, was just like, shooting up, getting high, because it's all over the place. It's all you have to do. You don't know. You might have to kill someone today. You might freaking die today.
Yeah. So it's like let's kind of ease the pain.
So
there's 1 out of 5 guys.
Yeah, 20%.
Burgers and fries.
Yeah. 1 out
Sorry,
of
I'm
5
trying
guys.
to make this awful subject something.
Well, I think it's gonna have an inspiring ending.
Okay. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, no. But so when these people came home, like 95% of them just quit cold turkey, no withdrawal, whatever, because they made it back to their families, their lives, their old job. They had connections with humans again. So it's a lot of this. It seems like, yes, there's like a chemical element to addiction, but it seems to be because we're losing our human connection. We are a social animal. You do have to hang out with other people. I like being alone. That's true. But after a day of it, it's like, well, I really want to see people now. I just need my decompression time, and it's time to go back to... That's what we need. Yeah. So part of it is, since the 50s, I don't know if it's directly related to technology. I didn't really read into this, so I don't want to overstate. But since the 50s, people have less and less close friends. You just have less and less people that you share your lives with. Mm-hmm. So I think, and now this is, everything I said before was actually like research, but this is kind of me just speaking off the cuff. I think a lot of this is like we're becoming more and more isolated. So we're having such a horrible epidemic right now because a lot of people are alone. They don't know how to fill this gap in their lives. Yeah. So some people are doing it with like, basically being assholes on YouTube comments. Like, this is my addiction. I just want to be offended all the time. I'm addicted to offense. Like, just being offended and being offensive. But then there's like a lot of people are addicted to drugs because, you know, they either don't have that social network or they just didn't, it was too hard to maintain and it was just easier to like get high all the time. Mm-hmm. And so
everyone has their own form of addiction.
Yeah. So I think we just really got to fucking hang out with people. Yeah. So,
but what are we gonna do with people who are introverted and don't like to talk to people?
Well, but the thing is that even people, I would consider myself very introverted, but here I am doing a podcast. Like this is what it is.
Hold on, we only get 12 viewers.
Exactly,
so
it's the perfect podcast.
Perfect. Don't even. It's like you're yelling like in a Starbucks, like at 5 a.m. There's like a couple people around, so we're good. I understand you.
I'm introverted, but I don't really like having more than 3 people over at a time because I don't like big groups, but I still love human connection. I love my parents, my girlfriend, my friends. This is what it is. So it's what we're doing to drug addicts right now is like kind of self-perpetuating the problem. Is you get arrested, go to jail because you were doing drugs. Yeah. Now you're trapped in a cage, literally. So what do you do to pass the time? Drugs. And then you get out of jail and people look at you like you're a gross addict and they don't want to hire you and you're kind of isolated from society. So you're alone again and there's nothing else to make that connection other than more drugs. So it really is, I think, there is a chemical element that I don't want to like belittle at, but really like a lot of this addiction problem comes from just not forming connections with other people. Mm-hmm. So,
do you feel like methadone clinics are a good or a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know enough about this topic.
That's what I was hoping you, the research man, would have had an answer for me.
So the issue is like if you've broken that connection and you reach that point where you are an addict, I don't know if then you need the physiological steps back. Like I don't know if at that point in time making a connection then. But it just seems like if you already have those connections, using these highly addictive substances isn't really addictive at that point in time. Because it's like, hey, I'm not using this to fill a void. I'm just, hey, I wanted to have a good night or something. But like, I wake up, I got my life. I got to keep this going. But there's nothing there to hold on to. You feel trapped in a cage. Then you go back for that little sense of relief until you reach the point where now your body needs it. Yeah. So you might need those physiological steps back if you reach that point.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. I don't know enough about addiction to be able to comment without making really obvious jokes and feel really, really bad about me.
Despite all your age, you're just a rat in a cage.
That's the only joke I can think of. So it's like completely like cyclical in that redundancy area of my life.
So I guess maybe if you just have a friend that was really close for a while and you didn't really have a blowout, you just kind of drifted apart, maybe just check on how they're doing. Like,
just say hello. Hit them up on Twitter. Hit us up on Twitter at Plucking_Petals. Look at that plug. Yeah. You can't see right now, but I just finger gunned the wall.
You didn't until you said that.
I know.
It was kind of a lie. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, so addiction is bad. And the heroin addiction, especially in just Westlake, Ohio, just this small blip of Ohio, is psychotic.
It's
insane.
Intense.
It keeps going up and up and up every year. I don't know why. I don't understand it. It scares me. I feel bad for these people who are addicted to such drugs. Because they just they can't get out. It's, as you said, they're in a cage and they can't get out. So what are they gonna do? They're just gonna keep doing it. So I don't know. Maybe we need better reform. Maybe we need better education towards this.
Yeah, I don't have the answer here. I know if you find yourself falling into that habit and that window hasn't shut yet, and you really still can't say no, then don't let yourself fall into that hole. But once you're in it, it's
help.
tough.
Talk to people. I feel like talking, as we're doing right now, talking to people is a real big thing.
Yeah, it makes me feel better.
Yeah, it makes me feel better too that we're talking.
Hell yeah.
I talk to people all day long because I can't. Well, that's more of a personal thing that I like to please people constantly. But I feel like talking to people about things and being open and honest is the right thing to do. Maybe awkward.
Well, I mean, you got to pick your moments. You just can't go up to a random lady at the bank and be like, "I think my wife is cheating on me."
Exactly. You gotta know a time and place. How about the YouTube comments are a great way to express your.
Just make sure you don't check your grammar at all, and the more N-words you can slam in there, the better you will feel.
I like how you're just typing and then you gotta slam an N-word in there. I don't know how you slam N-words, but I'm curious as to. Will you show me that later on my computer?
Yeah,
because I'm very concerned about.
You don't have a button. It's like all of the 26 letters and then just the N-word button on your keyboard. I think it's a YouTube commenter special.
Okay, so I don't have that Razer keyboard. By the way, this week we are sponsored by Razer products. How about you game on? I don't. I just guessed what Razer's slogan was, and I doubt it's correct.
I kind of believed you. I didn't know.
How about you? It sounds so passive aggressive. How about you game on? It's like making me like shut the door and like keep playing Counter-Strike and me feeling bad about myself.
Really? You're quitting already? Are you sure you don't want to game on?
Yeah, are you sure you don't want that armor in World of Warcraft or Counter-Strike?
You still have dailies you didn't complete.
This is true. You should probably hatch those eggs. I don't know. I haven't played World of Warcraft since Pandaland, so I don't.
Pandaland.
I don't know what's going on.
I've actually held out. Speaking of addiction.
Yeah.
I have not bought this WoW expansion.
Yeah.
This is the first one I haven't. I've been tempted. I really want to. But, yeah.
You don't need to. You have Overwatch to play.
I do have Overwatch to play.
That's it. I don't know what other games are out.
But sometimes in Overwatch I lose. And that doesn't happen in World of Warcraft. It just like constantly drip feeds
you just kill more
feeling
boars,
of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Look at your experience bar go up. Look at your gear get slightly better. Look at the gold in your inventory go higher.
And that just goes back to like, I hate to go back full circle to this, but like just like the sounds of addiction when it comes to games. Like there is research to people. There is research that game developers use when it comes to sounds when you're leveling up and when you're doing certain things that make you feel good and accomplished, so you want to keep going. I know Call of Duty does this.
Bungie has a behavioral psychologist on staff to make you feel better in Destiny.
Exactly. And that's a whole other kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
That we should not open the can of worms in that lifestyle. Because Destiny is a game. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a purple collecting simulator.
It's really fun. You get to shoot people. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're like shooting aliens.
Although I liked Halo more.
Pow. Halo was. If Halo did an MMO, I'd be much more interested than how Destiny turned out.
Well, not an MMO. What are those? I don't know. It's like small multiplayer. It's basically like Diablo with guns.
Okay,
Just
I'm
like,
cool with that.
Get the upgrades. Yeah.
I'm definitely cool with that. I like Diablo. Mm-hmm. That's a fun time. Well, should we go to the last segment?
I think it's time for your happy ending, Kyle.
Okay, well, considering that James did the happy ending for last week, it is currently my turn to do the happy ending. Once again, I haven't gotten anyone to do these besides James on deck. I don't even know if he listens, but thank you, James, for having a pile of suggestions for the happy ending. So this podcast, my happy ending is expensive health insurance.
Oh no.
So I gotta put a positive spin on expensive health insurance. I feel like this is a booby trap in its own right, and wow. Okay, so health insurance is good, and paying more for health insurance to make sure that you are healthy and you have good teeth is like a thing that you should consider in your life. I just missed my trash can as I'm throwing that suggestion
Man,
in
I
the
thought
garbage.
like Hitler or cancer or something would be the really hard ones.
Yeah, no. Expensive health insurance.
Shit.
Holy shit.
That was a good one.
I know. I got him a little tipsy and told him, just write what you want on a piece of paper for a while.
Yeah.
This is great. Holy shit. Expensive health insurance. You gotta help me out on this one. Because I don't have anything. Why expensive
Things
health
that are
insurance would be good?
Expensive are usually of higher quality.
Okay, that's true. So it's like if I buy like a McDonald's sandwich versus over like a Five Guys sandwich.
Yeah,
Or a
Five
burger.
Guys is better.
That
so
is
it's
better.
probably
Yeah, I'm
better.
paying more money. So yeah, if you use the money for expensive health insurance, clearly you are getting better doctors within.
Yeah, maybe you can get bells and whistles. Maybe you can get
Yeah,
like
maybe-
a third arm, robot parts.
Yeah, maybe you get cyborg parts, or maybe you perhaps get like super teeth, like Jaws from
Maybe you can
James
just get
Bond.
extra organs. Like maybe I have like 4 kidneys right now, and
That'd be super cool. You're like that Invader Zim episode where he just has a bunch of extra organs to be superhuman.
Yeah.
That's a great episode. Why did they air that on Nickelodeon? Anyways, but yeah, having expensive health insurance is probably the best way to go, simply because you can get great things. I keep stalling because I keep going like this. Dental's great. You can get x-rays whenever you want. I'm sure if you have expensive health insurance, you can get cleanings every 3 months instead of 6 months. I'm dying. All right.
Got the feed.
We're done. We're done. This episode is done. Once again, I want to thank our friend P. Stoops for the intro for Plucking Petals. If you have anything that you want to say to us, you can either leave it in the iTunes comments or the YouTube comments, or you could email
us.
You can email us. You can email us at pluckingpetalspodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter at plucking_petals and let us know how bad of a job I am doing as a person. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Once again, this has been Plucking Petals with James and Kyle, and I'm Kyle.
I'm just a rat in a cage.
That's right. And despite all my rage, we are done.